What's up guys, the Yonex Thailand Open just wrapped up and it was really exciting to see some international badminton back after almost a year now. There were some amazing games to watch, including lots of upsets throughout the tournament. We also had some interesting events such as the number 8 seeds in mixed doubles, Tang Chunman and Se Young Sweat, withdraw from the tournament after Isabel Hertrick and Mark Slamfer's coach tested positive for COVID-19. The German pair tested negative, but because they had spent time with the coach, the Hong Kong Institute of Sport advised the pair to pull out of the competition. Going into the tournament itself, in the men's singles we had a really interesting upset on day one, where Anders Antonsen was knocked out to Darren Liu, who actually played a really good game. Anders Antonsen looked nervous and made quite a lot of unusual mistakes. It was a shame Darren Liu picked up an injury at the end of the game, which impacted him in the next round. The rest of the matches mainly went as expected. The game between Victor Axelsen and Anthony Ginting was an awesome match, and in my opinion, whoever won that game was going to win the men's singles. At the end of the third game, it looked like Victor Axelsen wanted it more than Ginting. Ginting was trying to go for winners very early on in points at the end of the deciding game, rather than being patient, which caused a lot of errors from him. Enkelong Angos also played really well in his group to make it to the final, which is an excellent result for him to make it that far. He really impressed me for how well he played. However, Victor Axelsen was able to close out the tournament with a great win to make him the men's singles champion. That's 2 big tournaments in a row for him where he has won gold. Without Kenta Momota, I think Victor Axelsen is looking like he is the best in the world right now. It will be interesting to see how the men's singles go for the remaining tournaments in Thailand. In the men's doubles, I think we were really surprised on how well Leo Rolly Canado and Daniel Martin from Indonesia played. They are ranked 70th in the world and beat Rian Ardianto and Fajar Alfian, as well as Marcus Ellis and Chris Langridge, to make it to the semi-finals. They are only really young too, so it's definitely exciting to see how well they do in the future. Their ranking will definitely go up in 2021. Another pair who I didn't think would make it to the final is Govi Shem and Tan Wee Kiang from Malaysia. They played amazingly well. It's great to see them back playing at their best again. They are definitely one of the most entertaining doubles pairs. Up against them in the final was Li Yang and Wang Qilin from Chinese Taipei, who I rate really highly in men's doubles. This was an amazing game to watch, and I would definitely recommend you to go back and watch it if you haven't. The game was back and forth and went to all 3 games. Even then you had no idea who was going to take it at the end. However, Li Yang and Wang Qilin just edged it and in my opinion deserved the win. They played excellently throughout the tournament. Wang Qilin's power on his smash and the angle too makes it so hard for his opponents to play against. And then because of this, it sets up Li Yang brilliantly at the front of the court, who can attack the net and intercept their defence. In the mixed doubles, we had the number 1 and number 2 seeds from the tournament coming up against each other, which was always going to make for a great game. Although they did have some really close games along the way. There was a good sign for Danish mixed doubles, as Matthias Christiansen and Alexandra Boge did really well in the tournament and almost actually beat Praveen Jordan and Octaviante in the semi-finals. The match ended 21-19 and 22-20. The final was really surprising because the first game looked incredibly one-sided and looked like it might be a quick final, where Dechapul Puavanarukro and Sapsari Teratanachi won the first game 21-3. Thankfully, Praveen Jordan and Melata Octaviante came back and played much better in the second game and won it. Going to the third game again, it definitely looked like the Thailand pair wanted it more though. They were diving all over their court and didn't stop giving 100% to get the shuttle back. You could see how much it meant for them in the third game, a great result for Thailand too, as this was the first time in 12 years where a Thailand pair won the mixed doubles at this event. Going into the women's doubles, and before the tournament started, I thought that one of the Korean pairs would definitely get to the final, and if not win the women's doubles, without Japan or China being there. However, surprisingly, the number 7 seeds from Thailand made it to the final after having a great result against Kim and Kong from Korea in a really close semi-final. They played against Gracia Polly and Apriyani Rahayu from Indonesia, who also knocked out another Korean pair in the semi-finals, Lee and Shin. In the final, the Indonesian pair looked like they stepped it up to another level and played great to make the game look quite comfortable actually, with the final score being 21-15 and 21-12. I'm really liking how well these two played together. They have a really experienced player and a younger player together, which seems to be something that works well in badminton. Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe from Japan also follow this formula in men's doubles. One of the reasons why they played so well is because of how consistent they are. It makes it so frustrating for their opponents. They also attack the net really well and like to come forward and be aggressive, almost like you see Kevin Sukamolio do. Finally the women's singles, and here we got to see Tai Tzu Ying, who looked at almost her best again, where she won every game in 2 straight sets to reach the final. Surprisingly, her closest game was in the first round. In the final she was up against Carolina Marin from Spain, who also looked extremely motivated, and she came into the final while also winning every game in 2 sets. This really makes a difference in these tournaments, because going to the 3 games can really tire you out and affect your performance the next day. I think the final was one of the most surprising results of the tournament, where we saw a dominant performance from Carolina Marin. I definitely knew that she was good enough to beat Tai Tzu Ying, but the way she done it was incredible. This was her revenge for the All England semi-final last year, where she was defeated by Tai Tzu Ying last time they played. This will be a matchup we will see a lot of in 2021, and it will be interesting to see which way it favours. Overall, it was great to see the first tournament played in Thailand for January, and I think in general it was ran really well without many problems. It will be super interesting to see how well the next tournaments will go, as they are being played right next to one another. This makes it exciting because we will likely see a lot of rematches, where players will want to get revenge and get the win over the players they might have lost to in previous days. Personally, my favourite match of the event was the men's doubles final. Let me know in the comments what your favourite match was and who surprised you the most. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video for more badminton content. Thank you for watching and have an awesome day.